Hello viewers, Super GT here. Now, very recently on Gran Turismo, I came up against the most formidable opponent in all of motorsport. Yes, that's right, I raced Karen. Now, this was an intense battle, and it's one that I will cherish for the rest of my life, of course. But the journey towards Karen begins earlier in the day at Group 3 Maggiore, brand new daily race. Let's give it a go. So for this first race, it's really just about learning the race. 10 laps, and you have to use the medium and the soft tyre. And for this one, I immediately got overtaken into the first corner. So a pretty awful start, actually. But really, this first race is just about learning the race. Learning the best strategy and the best car and the best way to navigate these 10 laps of the Autodrome Maggiore circuit. Okay, so at the end of lap 1, I've fallen down to 19th, but really, I mean, I started on the medium tyres as that guy peels into the pit lane very early. Started on the medium tyres, which is the slower set of tyres, so I should technically be getting overtaken if some of these guys are on the soft tyres, that is. And that did prove to be the case. So through turn 2 there, very tight hairpin. A little bit later on, onto the back straight, just take a look up ahead. People getting all over the grass and into barrier on the left-hand side there. So we're getting 2 positions, okay. So we're back higher than where we started, changing the brake bias. Very important on any race with tyre wear to do that. And a bit later on, end of lap 3 here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 of us going into the pit lane. Change over our tyres from the mediums over to the soft, and working out what the strategy call is here, because as I said, first time doing it, I don't know the strategy, so I'm just making up as I go along, just following the others into the pit lane. Who's this? The Key 25, fellow YouTuber, streamer. Well, I say streamer, I haven't really streamed in ages. It was all going so well for him until this fatal moment here. So Key with the self-send into the Shadow Realm. But yeah, this first race, tyres pretty tricky to deal with. But I wasn't too far away from like the top 10. There was just a couple of seconds up the road there. So for a first race, that actually wasn't awful. And that lobby was stacked. Let me tell you, those names in there. There's some fast guys. Very, very, very fast guys. So it's a 15th, not the greatest, but lots of potential moving forward. Therefore, we move into bit of qualifying. This is my best lap. I wanted to get down towards the mid 52s, braking just before the after the 100 boards into the first corner, taking loss of curb. You want to get your right hand wheels into the yellow area there, and on the power as early as possible. So once again, using the Supra, which I think is the best qualifying car, best race car, possibly. It does suffer from tyre wear, this car. Which will be its main downfall. Other options, of course, Nissan GTR and the Toyota FT1. Very good handling car, that. So there is a bit of a mix. You can realistically race with a few different cars. But I'm going to stick with the Supra for this, as this car I'm fairly familiar with. This is a crucial section here, onto the back straight. You can really make or break your lap. And actually, I don't get as good exit as I did on my best lap. So I gained a 10th in the first sector, lost a 10th in the second sector. I'm pretty much even with my 52.6. 52.6 isn't such a bad lap. But coming up the hill, this section flat out, or at least it should be if you're good. So come through here, dip your right wheels onto the grass there. And then into the last couple of corners, look at that 50 board braking just before it, carry the speed in. Then get back on the power to carry her out to the left, and on the end of that curb turn in, get on the power very early here. Could have done it a bit earlier than that. Then the last corner, very difficult this one, because you kind of a blind entry, and I was a little bit wider than I could have been, later on the power than I could have been, and we're going to improve by just shy of a 10th to go for a 52.5, which is an okay lap time. About 1.1 away from the number 1, which is normally where I am. So this put us 12th on the grid, and once again, very, very stacked grid. Lots of people in the low 52s and into the 51s. This is all building in as we change our brake bias, so we've learned that. Our front tyres were wearing, getting my words mixed up there. My front tyres were wearing a little bit too much in that previous race, therefore we put it to the back, and hopefully that will put us in a better position for this race. Starting 12th, there's lots of FT1s here. A mix, I mean, it's a real Toyota battle. Lots of FT1s, lots of Supras. And it's actually a very close race, this one. This daily race. Just the quality in this lobby was very, very high. So I think to finish anywhere in the sort of the top 10 area was always going to be good. And Tomic's getting shoved wide there by Red Bull Gas 14. We're going to gain a position out of that, up into 11th position. Following through the fast sweeping section, this bit is crucial, as I said. This last bit here, a bit of a lift. But I do have the advantage in this car, given the Toyota Supra's top-end prowess. The FT1 really good in the corners, and therefore good off the corners, but it isn't good so much on the end of the straights. And we're going to go easily sailing by. He didn't have the slipstream either. Yellow flagged someone off on the side. So we gain 2 positions there on that corner, up into, what's that, P9. That's a decent first lap then, because we are on the medium tyre still, so we aren't on the faster tyre. And I think we probably went into the pit lane maybe 1 lap too early in that previous race. And we went in at the end of lap 3. That meant 7 laps on the soft, and by the 7th lap, I was dying of death. That old classic death. The problem of death was really overcoming me. So that's not what we want. We're going to pit 1 lap later, I think, on this race. Atomic's onto the grass there. He spent more time on the grass, I think, than on the circuit on this first lap. Into turn 1, lap number 2. Into turn 2, lap number 2. Good position we're in. Well, I mean, there's 8 better positions, but given that we started outside of the top 10, I'll take it. So this is the difficult corner. And out of nowhere, the Spaniard comes flying back. I didn't really expect that one. Just a big lunge from miles back, but okay. And we defend another attempt to be overtaken. But this point of the race is really just a case of staying with the soft tyre runners. I actually think a lot of these guys are on mediums, because we are fairly evenly paced. He covers the inside here, because I'm sure he's aware that his car doesn't have much top end. There's not much I can do to really go around the outside there. Just park on the inside for turn 2. You can see on the radar there's lots of cars just behind, very, very close behind. There we have a look. So as much as I want to gain, I also just don't want to lose too many positions. The thing we're looking at is the Swiss driver in 8th. Got a penalty. Penalty zone is here. Can we gain a position as he slows down? Not quite, but they are going to be side by side, so we do have to analyse the situation quite closely. We're going to go in, and Spaniard kind of ran him narrow, which meant they both got a poor exit. I'm going to go up the inside here. Is this going to work into the fast left? I'm not quite ahead. I just turn in a little bit too late, and they both go flying back through. And that's not really gone to plan at all. So I could have been in 8th. I'm going to end up in 10th here, possibly 11th, as we have the French driver just behind. So I'm going to tuck into the slipstream and hope that the guy behind can't get past. And I am just pulling away, so I don't think he will. Into the big banky boy. Legendary corner. Legendary corner. Petition to get this track built in real life. I mean, I don't know how much that would cost, but let's get it done anyway. I'm sure some rich motorsport fans would love to see that. So, where are we? End of lap 3. Red Bull Gas spinning a little bit wide there. But I'm pretty sure all of us here are on the medium tyre. And we're just waiting for that pit stop. Now, all of this is putting us in good stead for our battle later with the Karen, which was actually a really good fight, I must be honest. So this is really just a learning journey. First race wasn't that great because, of course, we went where do we start? I started 17th, finished 15th, you know, 15th out of 20. Not ideal, really. We're hoping to go better here. We are in the top 10. That's actually not bad in a lobby of this quality. And speaking of quality, we have the Spanish streamer, Jim Bria, going through there. So he's going to stay out. I'm sure he's on a different strategy. We're going to go in for our pit stop, onto the soft tyre, and we should be good from here to the end of the race. So this lap here, this should be our fastest lap of the race, technically, as it's our first lap on the softest available tyre. So this lap here, we should be bang on it. Now, we come out in 14th, as you can see. So you might think, well, that's not very good because you just dropped a load of positions, but that's fine. A lot of these people just in front would have just undercut us on the pits, so I should be on better tyres than a fair few of these people. So my first thought really is we need to go aggressive right now. We need to start pressing on, getting through this pack. And first up is KKR Mario, and the Swiss driver, they're getting all out of shape on the exit of that turn. GTR's going to go for the move, but look at that, the FT1's so good on handling. You can just easily sweep around the outside. The GTR is a bit of a blocky boy, and that, in fact, for good measure, he's going to get a penalty. So down the back straight, I'm thinking, okay, he's got a penalty. I need to get past him, really, because otherwise we're just wasting time, because he's going to serve that penalty, so I need to get ahead of him. So luckily the situation kind of develops here, and the space opens up on the inside. He commits to the outside, which was the wrong side, and then it just allows me to just nip in the inside there. So we're going to get that position up into 13th. A nice big group here fighting. And this is what I noticed in this lobby. It was actually a very, very closely fought lobby. Lots of very fast drivers, and it's really good to see that. Because let's not forget, Gran Turismo Sport, by this point, is almost 4 years old. But we still have a healthy online player base. And that's proving to be the case here. How many players have we got here? Up until 8, from 8th to 15th is battling in this one group here. So it's a very closely fought midfield, and maybe I need to improve my qualifying time, and then I'll be able to just start in front of all of this. Crossing the line here to begin the 6th lap. We've done half the race. GTR behind goes for the move, but I can just keep it around the outside here. So I know that I have the inside for turn 2. So that's fine. You can let people sort of nip up the inside. They have to fully commit ahead of you by the apex. Otherwise, you can just hang it around the outside. So that was fine. Staying in 13th for the time being. Let's just try and make an inroad into this group. I think the main consideration is really just getting a good exit onto the back straight, which is here. And I don't quite get it the way I would have liked. A little bit wider than I would have ideally liked. And I brake a little bit too late here in the slipstream. Unfortunately, that's just going to hand the position here to the Porsche driver. So he goes through, and that just shows you one little mistake. So I just didn't quite take the chicane before the straight quite right, and it means I sort of lose position instead of gain one. So that just shows you the fine margins as these two get all tangled up with each other. So we did lose a position on that lap. We're going to gain 2 though, up into 12th, and a real top 10 finish is very much possible. This is where things unravel for me in this race. As we head into turn 1, and we brake, in fact, I braked later than I should have done, and we still get hit from behind, unfortunately, by the Czech driver. And I'm going to do a horrific rejoin. Top 1 worst rejoins of the month. Let's put it that way. And unfortunately, because I've gone off, I've got no grip on the tyres. Absolutely escapes me. The grip has left the room. And we're going to lose a couple of positions. And in a race this close, you don't need that. You really don't need that. That guy doesn't need that. He spins out with gain 1 position. And then it really just turned into a battle between myself and Mario for 13th. And this is very unfortunate, because it was a really good race. It was a good battle in that group. And once you lose the slipstream of the group, it's very difficult to start catching them up. It goes up the inside here, and I just managed to rebuff the move around the outside and keep the position. But yeah, once you lose the toe of the group, it's unlikely you're going to gain it back. I'm 2.2 seconds behind now. And if I stayed with that group, I would have had a very good chance of just picking something up. But now, I'm very much relegated to this fight for 13th. So I'm going to cover the inside here. And Mario's actually going to try this around the outside. It's a brave attempt, and he just couldn't quite make that happen. But fair play for trying. And this battle's going to go very much down to the wire. So onto the back straight. This is the crucial section of the lap in terms of overtaking. So we get this bit, get it a lot better than we have done before. But I'm pretty sure Mario's got it well, as he's done it well as well. Cover the inside line, move to the right hand side at the last moment. Braking just before the 100 board. Is it the 100 board? I'm pretty sure it's the 100 board. And then we just keep the position. So it's a good battle, this. It's a good fight. With 1 lap left to go, he does commit to the inside, and I don't defend it like I did on the previous lap. Can we hang this one around the outside? Yes, we can, just about. So good respect shown between the two of us. Move to the inside here, and perhaps I should have defended this one as well. But he gets the position. I was going to go for the switchback, the old switcheroo. Is it going to work? Kind of, but he does have the inside here for this left-hander. So I'm not going to be able to really sweep that one around the outside. But the main opportunity here, and the last opportunity, really, the best opportunity, is to overtake him at the end into the big banky boy and try to regain this position. Let's see if we can do that. Into the toe. The GTR are really good in a straight line, so it's really difficult to actually overhaul them. Even with the slipstream, the Supra is quick in the straight line as well. We have got the momentum. He goes to the inside, covers it off. I'm going to try something around the outside, try to get some better momentum. We've got a car off on the left-hand side, and we're going to gain a position, so this battle is now for 12th. Running out of opportunities here to overtake, and that, oh no, yeah, straight into the barrier, which is far from optimal. As we head down towards the final corner then, let's see if we can go for this move. It's going to be a sensational dive bomb. Not going to happen. That move is never really going to work. You can't really go for dive bombs into that final corner unless you're an absolute maniac. But yeah, finished 13th in that one. Bit of an unfortunate race because I think that top 10 was very much possible, and that would have been a very good result in such a lobby because lots of those players are very, very fast indeed. Even the players starting at the back were very, very quick. But this brings us on to the showpiece of the video. Yes, that's right. We're up against Karen. Here she is. There she is. Just in front of us. She's finished speaking with the manager. Or the race steward, if you like. And we can finally do battle with the most feared opponent in motorsport history. Forget Lewis Hamilton. Forget Ayrton Senna. Forget Michael Schumacher. Karen Justice is my GOAT. Let's have a look then. Starting 8th, so a little bit further forward. The main trend I would say in this video is each race is getting better and better as I was just learning how to drive the car, and just understanding the best strategy, the best way to drive the tyres. You know, all of these little things add up, and as long as you're learning, then it's all good, and that's exactly what we're doing. So here, I sensed this Italian was a little bit on the back foot on this first lap. So we're going to try and go for this move. In fact, he's already lost the toe to Karen. And Karen toe is very powerful, you know. So you don't want to lose it, and he's lost it. So we're going to go for this move. Get this move done into 7th place. Not much you can do in the FT1. So we're going to take that position. And see, actually Karen going for a move as well. Past Halbstock, who's driving the Huracan. Now that Huracan, we're trying to analyse who's got what here. Huracan, very, very good car in terms of, you know, it's good in the corners, good on the straights, but it isn't the best for tyre wear. So we're going to look and potentially see Halbstock struggle later on tyres. I mean, that's one of the things we're trying to think about later on, who's going to be in a good position on the last laps. In terms of tyres, and now we have Maui Popcorn battling with Halbstock. Karen is actually streaking clear in 4th place there. Did tell you that she was the GOAT, right? Did I not tell you that? Onto the back straight, lap number 3. Okay, what's going to happen here? We're under attack from a Frenchman. Down the back straight, he's going to go for the inside line. I do just have a faint whiff of slipstream. And is he going to go for this move? No, he pulls back in. Okay, so that's fine. I'm going to just try and catch up. A lap later, does actually go for this move. And this is end of lap 4. So this was the lap that we were going to go into the pit lane. We're going to run the same strategy as we did in race 2, which is 4 laps on the medium and then 6 on the soft tyre. 3 of us here coming into the pit lane. And just having a look there, actually the Frenchman who just went through was on the soft tyre. So he's going to be on the medium now, whereas I'm going to be in the soft. So I should have a tyre advantage over that driver at least. So it's important to take a look at who's on what tyre there as you go into the pit lane. Just coming out ahead of the Swedish driver at Bahamas Racing. And we're in 8th position. So this is actually going well. Yeah, so this one's going a lot better than the previous race. We're in a good position here. I'm going to try and time our momentum here. I caught him in a wrong time, but I just timed my momentum to get into that gap as we go onto the back straight. So that was an important moment there. Just to hold back and time your momentum into the gap. Otherwise, he would have been easily able to defend that. So up into 7th. And that's good. We know that driver there has medium tyres on. So he shouldn't be able to keep with me. And that's exactly what happened. He didn't really manage to keep with me. A little bit later on in the race, lap 6. We now have Halbstock for company in the Lamborghini. So he's very, very quick in that car. And he pitted a lap later, so he's got a slight tyre advantage by a lap. So he kind of negated the fact that he's in the Huracan, which isn't that great on tyres, by pitting a lap later. So Karen Justice in the lead by this point. The absolute GOAT has managed to get into the leading position, but is yet to pit. In fact, there we go. Karen into pit lane. The Karen team requesting that she box, and here's what happens at the end of that lap. She comes out of the pit lane. There she is. This is the moment where Super GT faces Karen Justice, the GOAT, the real GOAT of motorsport. I managed to just nip in ahead, and I'm not sure what tyres, but given her absolute prowess in that first stint, I'm going to suggest that she was on the soft tyre to begin with and is now on the mediums, albeit fresh mediums. She has a two lap tyre advantage, but is on mediums, so it's a bit of an advantage and a bit of a disadvantage. So it's hard to call at this point who's got the better tyres. But we're in a good fight here. 3rd possible, 4th very possible, 5th possible because I'm in 5th, 6th very possible because Karen is behind me and Karen is in 6th. So this could go really one of 4 ways or 5 ways, because well, in fact there's 16 positions. I could finish in any of them, probably not the top 3, so 13 options. I'm just talking a load of rubbish here, really, aren't I? Karen going for the move. Oh, there's contact. Karen getting the boxing gloves out and laying a haymaker into the big banky boy. Oh, we're gonna carry on there. It's okay. I'm sure Karen didn't mean it. It was just a bit of a racing incident. We don't want to upset the Karen, otherwise she'll take you to the race stewards, aka the manager. Through the double looping right-hander towards the end of the lap here. Halbstock just pulling away there. That was unfortunate because we're just still in the slipstream of Halbstock. This fighting has just brought us a little bit further behind than we would have liked. So now we've got a job on our hands to catch back up, if at all. It really is. Oh, hello. Moving far left there into turn 1. Potential move around the outside. Didn't really fancy it. We're going to live to fight another day here. Swing back for a good exit. Get hit slightly from behind. So we do have a couple of cars immediately behind us. So a race that was looking like we could finish in 3rd or 4th now looks like 5th, 6th or 7th more likely. Car behind with a penalty though, so they're going to serve that. And the gap behind about 6-7 tenths. But the main battle really between myself and Karen, who's just drifting wide. Karen all over the place, out of form right now. And we're going to slip by back into 5th. And this comes at a good time. Just, you know, on lap 8. 2.5 laps remaining. Not too long left in this race. And I'm just really wondering about this tyre advantage. well, who has the advantage? I don't know. I don't know who has it. I am on the soft tyres. They are wearing out. But she's on the mediums, and those are also wearing out. I don't know at what rate. Into the big banky boy. Karen comes back through and retakes the position. Gets a little bit squirrely on the exit. Up the hill. Side by side with the goat. And we're going to gain the position back. Fantastic racing between the two of us. And we're back into 5th. Now, hopefully we can keep the position from here to the end and secure our place in motorsport history as one of the very few people to beat Karen. Down the hill, into the final corner, lap 8, 2 laps left to go. We have about 4 minutes of racing remaining in this race. And we are beginning just to pull away there, half a second the gap. And that is a fairly comfortable margin. In fact, I would say that they can't really overtake from that far back. Unless it is a savage dive bomb. And we do manage to pull away. You see there's a gap. Once again, actually now opening up to 8 tenths. By this point here, it was 3/4 of a second. And dwindling. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep that margin. And I was giving Karen the tow. That sounds really bad. down the back straight. And this is the final lap then. And once again, I didn't want to give Karen the tow on the back straight because there's always a chance they can slipstream past. But we had R4M Wind joining the party just in the back of shot there. So with half a lap remaining, can we keep our 5th place up against Karen? Halbstark just in front. And I do sense that I was gaining on him a little bit in these last 2 laps, but we were just too far back by this point to really do any damage from here. Let's take a look behind. Karen, no, not totally close, nowhere near close enough to go for a move as we head into the last big overtaking opportunity on the lap. And, oh, actually, there's been contact between the two of them. Karen has been wiped out. Now, that is... In fact, we should stop that there and take a look at what happened. R4M Wind, what's going on? Looks for the move. Doesn't quite happen, and Karen gets spun out. Karen absolutely disintegrated. Karen in the mud. Karen in the barrier. Karen, meet my friend Barry. Karen obviously disgusted at this and really complains at R4M Wind and ends up in the barrier. And here's live footage of the Karen, the pit wall of Karen. Unfortunate for Karen there. It was looking good and then ends up in the wall meeting Barry. But there we go. End of the race. Finishing 5th. And that was actually a good result. You know, not too bad. Getting better with every race. We finished 15th and 13th and 5th. So getting slightly better each time. Learning the race. Unfortunately for Karen, down there in 16th, eventually finishing a good, 41 seconds away. So absolutely distraught Karen leaving the circuit there. But there you go, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Do give us a sub if you enjoyed and all that good stuff. Take care. Have a nice day, have a nice life, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.